Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Deviantart podcast, found at deviantartpodcast.com. I am not going to clap or move my hands in any way. They're clasped together. So I'd like to introduce the creative crew of the Salsa Strangers. This is Mr. Chris Hoffman, the founder, CEO, and cool, awesome guy that started the whole thing.
You know, nobody stops you from giving you any sort of title if you own the business.
I know.
That's just amazing. It could be CEO all day long.
Yeah. So, anyway, Chris Hoffman. And, of course, the esteemed Mr. Jeremy Gates, who is the blocker and, let's just call him the driving force behind getting crap done. Because that's...
the taskmaster.
That's not flattering. There's a flattering term for what you do, and it's keeping us motivated and moving along. But I digress. And, of course, yours truly, Mr. Josh Butterfield. I have a weird obsession with clapping my hands when I do these ding recordings. And it's like this the whole time, so I'm not going to do that.
Oh, good.
They're clasped. So, anyway, enough about us. We're here today to talk about a little bit about Carl Riley, one of the artists we found on Deviantart.com. And Carl Riley is a fantastic artist that we really enjoyed looking at his stuff. And so we contacted him, asked him some questions, and we're going to kind of review what we got.
We also went through his gallery and sort of picked a few of our favorites here. So, You know what? Why don't we do that a little bit, and then we can interject with some of his answers from his interview questions.
Sounds
so
good.
let's go ahead and we'll start with Josh, who picked this Wonder Woman print.
Okay, so he has a lot of really colorful, vibrant, bright pictures that he did that are just fantastic. The reason I liked this one is there's such an elegance and such a, I don't know, when it's simple and when it's just the clean lines and it's all done with this black and white and grayscale. It's just, I think that really shows the talent. I love this. This is beautiful. He's captured like personality in there. She's kind of quizzical. She's got great hair. Let's be honest, that's great hair.
That hair is amazing.
It's some solid hair.
Hair is one of the hardest things to make look right in a drawing.
Completely agree, but he pulls it off, and the lips are pouty, but not like over. I don't know. It's perfect, and it captures. It's a still life picture, and it's amazing. And so that's what I like. And that's why I like it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, she's got a lot of personality in her eyes. It doesn't... the hair is the thing that got me the most, because like Jeremy was saying, it's so hard, but it has nice highlights, has some life to it, so it looks like something's really happening right now. She's just turned around and looked over her shoulder. I don't think this falls too much into like a Hawkeye Initiative problem. You guys know what the Hawkeye Initiative is? So it's like where people it's a thing on the internet where if pictures are too like sexist, so like if the woman is looking like the artists will replace the woman with Hawkeye, and if it looks funny, then it's like, okay, now why did you draw a girl this way? You know what I mean? So if you just had Hawkeye turned around looking at you like this, I don't think it would be that weird. She looks strong. But she also looks feminine. And, I mean, technically, even on this, like, the lighting is...
Yeah, I was going to say the lighting is really good. And less is more.
It's
not
agree.
overshaded. It's not overdone. Some nice highlights, but it's not... It's just less is more.
It's clean. Clean lines.
Very clean.
Well done, Carl Riley. I dig this picture immensely. I almost clapped.
You almost clapped.
In this case, I think he deserves...
There's a little bit of a slow clap there.
I'm going to start a slow clap. So
I was going to say his... in his answers, he's talking about... he's in the UK, by the way, so he's across the pond, as it's known. And Jeremy, he's a brother of yours because he's also an architect.
Way to go.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool.
I hope we find some call center managers at some point. I hope we run into that guy as well. It's like, yes, I have this lustrous call center job. Just keep going.
If you're an architect, it's a given that you're into art.
I know.
But if you're a call center manager, it's awesome. You're unique. One of a
Thank
kind.
you. That's a nice spin on it.
See?
I like that better. All right.
Well, so we'll move on to Jeremy's pick here.
Okay.
which is a cover for Kiss Me Deadly, which, it was for this cover art for Hellbound Media's Kiss Me Deadly. So go ahead, Jeremy.
All right. I think the first thing that captured me was the detail. We spent a few minutes really looking over this one, and it's got the brains coming out of the garbage can, the graffiti on the wall. It's very detailed and very interesting. Also, you gotta love zombies and vampires, and anything to do with that is always cool to me. I think it's just another piece that's very well done, very detailed, but not overdone. There's not so much going on that you get lost in it. The colors are good. The lighting is good. It's an interesting piece.
The background fan was good. The fourth wall is also good.
Josh has to keep bringing up these things that nobody's supposed to know is going on.
I know you.
Amateur hour on the podcast here.
What are you talking about?
The interwebs. So the detail, it's clean, it's simple, it's detailed, it's fun to look at, it's got a lot going on. It's just really intriguing. It just really stood out and popped. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I like it because it's bloody.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, she's holding a severed vampire head. She's got there's a smiley face on the wall. The graffiti looks pretty authentic. This is just a good example of making it look like, this is an alley somewhere. This could very well be just an alley somewhere. The decay up on the bricks, the paint is chipping off, and you can see the bricks underneath. There's an attention to detail here that's spectacular, and it really, if you look at the little vampire claw that's coming in the bottom, it's scratching down the board, and it's leaving some claw marks. That's just that's great. I love when I feel like I've discovered something in a picture like that, and
it's
that's
like Where's Waldo, but
yeah,
only interesting.
Exactly.
I read
the Easter egg?
I read a thing bringing up Where's Waldo. There was a thing today. I think it was on. It's either Memebase or Reddit or something like that, where there was a guy that said, this teacher friend of mine kept his class busy today by passing out Where's Waldo pictures where he's photoshopped out Waldo. He's gone, and the kids, and there was one kid who was like, can I stay in from recess so I can keep looking?
Oh my god,
that's awesome.
So evil. But
kids are dumb.
What was two
Can
things?
I say that?
Yes. The two things on this one is I think that there's a lot of influence from being in England, because this is the type of graffiti that you would see all over in Europe.
That's true.
So Josh and I actually just did a couple of different trips to Europe, and this is the stuff you see everywhere. I mean, you don't see this sort of stuff here in Salt Lake very often. You'll see a tag every once in a while, and it gets taken care of pretty quickly, depending on the neighborhood and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I mean, a downtown neighborhood where you'd have something like this is just not. It's a pretty few and far between in Salt Lake. So it's cool, like you said, that it's influenced by where he's at, and also with her jacket with the buttons on it and whatnot. There's a lot of stuff in here that just looks like it's British and it's English.
I like her gracefulness and her smile. Severed head, but yet her hands are clean.
Right.
She herself is not covered in blood. She's got that smile.
Is it just me, or is that a Watchman pin?
Oh, it might be. Yeah, it's a smiley
So
face.
it's either just a smiley face or it's a Watchman pin. But either way, again, it's that attention to detail.
Right.
Like the lace frill on the top
Yeah.
on the top of her stockings, which are torn up.
Right.
I mean, this must have taken just a ton of time, and
I was going to say the two things that would be even any sort of feedback on this that would be constructive feedback would be that the one of the arms that's coming out of the window, the one that's curled, if all of those boards are flat against that window, like that it's been boarded up, either the arm should be out further. You know what I mean? It looks like it's almost up with there's a shadow there, but that's the one thing. It would either it looks like it could be pointing straight out more, or it could be, I mean, this is nitpicky, you know what I mean? This is great picture, and I don't want to be the Simon Cowell of this thing.
you are.
But
You're Simon Cowling me, man.
But I that would be the one thing. When a picture looks really, really good, the one or two things that could be an improvement stand out more. You know what I mean? Where if everything was terrible, it would be I don't even know where to start on this.
Yeah.
But there's the one thing on there, but you know what I mean? I would be ecstatic to have something like this as as a cover on the Strangers, or if I could get all the way to doing this on my own.
Yeah, we need him to do a cover for the.
So tell me about the Hawkeye Initiative with this one.
Hawkeye Initiative. I mean, maybe
You
if he was wearing those stockings, maybe that would be a problem.
But otherwise, that's
but otherwise,
totally
I really
natural.
don't think like he would. Maybe you don't know. I think having his foot on the wall, I don't think there would be anything. No, he seems to actually draw really strong female
I think so too.
superheroes.
And
I don't think that
not
they're overly
crazy
sexy.
proportions.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, she's got the torn shirt, but it's like it could have been just covering. You know what I mean? Like they're
the
not.
Niplios.
Yeah,
we
it's not
say
that bad
Niplios?
off. Yes,
Can we say
this
that
this
here?
is the Safe podcast on YouTube. The one where we look at art that features more human bodies will be on the Vimeo version of this site.
I'm excited
So,
for that version.
Overall, 2
Yeah.
thumbs up. Great job. We love it.
So, and then we
Bravo.
have one more. We have mine. So this is a cover of Avenging Spider-Man. Great book, by the way. Spider-Man, one of my favorite superheroes. Probably absolute favorite superhero. Just love Spider-Man.
Lobo.
Lobo. But the thing I like about this, no, absolutely Cable. Cable's coolest superhero ever.
If only I had another pouch or a gun.
But looking at this, the first thing that I thought was like, oh, this is a neat picture out of Photoshop. This isn't Photoshop. This is him on a blank cover comic book, which is already more difficult.
Because of the curvature.
Well, and because it's smaller. The secret to really good drawing is to draw gigantic.
Draw it big and shrink it.
And then shrink it. And so doing custom covers is really difficult to get these the little hash marks that are part of the shadows on here, and to get the little thin lines that are the details of the eyes and around the mouth and the spikes on the teeth and whatnot. And then of course his joke in there, that's a classic Spider-Man line, could he use a breath mint there. But the pen work on here to get the shadows, when I work in Photoshop, I always go from dark to light. So when I do a shadow, I do a character, I put in the darkest color I can first, and then I lighten from there. And that doesn't work at all with pens and in real life. You have to start with light side and then go darker, and that my brain just doesn't work in that way to color stuff. And so I'm always just really impressed when people pull that off. Also with all of the sort of scaly looking skin on the top of the monster's head here. And the monster's just kind of a neat design. I don't know if this is one that he's taken from somewhere or this is just off the top of his head.
I don't know. You know, if I looked at this cover and I didn't know that this looks like an iconic Avenging Spider-Man cover, period. I love it. I mean, everything about it is just is neat, and it screams Spider-Man. Like the posture, the bad guy looming over him. You know, he's kind of the underdog. He always has been, but he pulls through. He's captured all of that. The thing is, not only is it a green, scaly, horned demon, but there's tentacles flying out of there. It's just like he's just this amalgam of all things bad.
And I've seen enough anime to know where that's going.
Oh yeah, that's on the collector's edition. You don't want that one. But it's
or
just,
maybe you do.
Or maybe you do. It's just neat.
Once again, I would say the detail, but at the same time, less is more. Once again, he hasn't over-shaded, over-detailed. It's with something this intricate, it's real easy to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
To get in there with shadowing and everything else. Go
too far. Yeah.
Yeah, and take it too
if
far.
If you had, yeah, it could be the case that if you had horns, tentacles,
a bell,
fangs, yeah, a bell, like an eye patch,
a German Shepherd,
breathe fire, yes, all of those things could get to the point where Josh has this analogy where he says knowing when to stop on a picture is actually really important.
So I think that's something that he has done very well.
Right.
With most of these pieces that we're looking at is he knew
knew
when to put the pen down and walk away.
Well, he mentions in his answers that he actually works with an A3 pencil and Bristol board. So if he's doing one of these blank covers. That's what's on those blank covers is just Bristol paper, and that he's a huge fan of Spider-Man. Like apparently when he was a kid, Spider-Man was one of his favorite characters, and when the Sam Raimi. Sam Keith Spider-Man with this giant head, and the big forearms, and all these webs everywhere. Look at all the art I'm making. Yeah, but this
Didn't
sucks.
Sam Keith do something like that? That had thick, gooey...
Oh, I'm sure. And he's done Spider-Man. He did I think he did some Spider-Man stuff in like Marvel Spotlight. I think.
I could have swore... We're going to have to research that because Sam Keith was actually my favorite artist for a long time as far as comic books. I loved the Max when it came out.
They're making new versions of that. Like, they have, like, re-releases of those original ones. They're called, like, the Maximum Max.
Wow. But that's not Carl Riley, and Carl Riley is
who we're
talking about right now.
Right.
You can see... I think you can see his influences, his classical influences.
Absolutely.
This... I mean, it's not a perfect parallel, obviously, but I see a lot of Jim Lee in there and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's interesting when you can see someone has taken their influences and made them their own, because it doesn't look like he just stole this from him. Mm-hmm. You know, like, here's this other page right on top of it. It's like, okay, I can see those elements of his history and his background, but
yeah. Well, and you can see it's a very image classic, like it's an image style. With the cross-hatching, with the shadows.
I like the background. I like it.
Yeah,
clean sort of and simple, but very stylish.
So stylish, man.
Very stylish.
So stylish. It's got style. Carl Riley's got style. Carl Riley, I don't know you, brother, but you have got some style. This is stylish.
And if I'm gonna read his email address on here, so on DeviantArt. You can contact him on there, or if you can get in touch with him at riles_uk@yahoo.com. He does commissions.
Yeah, he does commissions.
And so you can get in touch with him. I am gonna certainly consider getting my own.
Let's go back to the gallery and just walk these good folks, these viewers of this fine video podcast through a lot of his stuff.
Let's go back to here.
And
so Carl-Riley-Art is his handle on DA. Oh, this is the other thing. Those of you who are lucky enough to be over in the UK, he is going to be at Nerdageddon in like right around the corner
which is
of his
my
place.
Favorite song by Def Leppard.
Nerdageddon.
Are you getting it? Nerdageddon. Right. Nothing.
He did a poster for the coming. This one may be a problem with the Hawkeye Initiative. The Spider-Woman on here.
I don't
People
know.
may be angry about that one.
I think he's maybe just he could arc his butt a little bit.
No, but it's a totally cool picture. I don't get as grumpy about that one. I am very much for feminist rights and whatnot, but I also think I don't look like Wolverine, you know what I mean? I don't have these crazy bulging muscles and whatnot, you know what I mean? That's well,
I do.
Of course I do under my shirt and whatnot. So I think you can take it too far, but on the other hand, I think you also can make a good argument that there are some that are ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back to
let's just flip through the
gallery here.
the Alice in Wonderland. Look at that one real quick.
Yeah, this could easily be a Grimm Fairy Tale cover.
He's got some Grimm stuff in there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got some stuff that looks like a totally... And those guys, the Grimm Fairy Tale people...
How did I not get that one the first time? That would be my favorite. How did I skip over that?
I don't know.
That's wonderful. And, of course, it's a great story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's even like the Disney...
Yeah, I know. Okay, wow, bravo. That was 2014. That's new.
Yeah, that's
one of his latest pieces.
I really liked this Chief Chirpo one. That's just awesome. I love that he has like the dagger in his belt. He looks like he's about to cut somebody.
And these were...
as long as they're further away than 6 inches.
Yes. Well...
Yeah.
Okay, I tell you what. There's an Ewok sitting there. And he's all cute, eating some berries or something like that. You don't think he's going to bust out and he's going to be like, oh, chop, chop, whoop, whoop, yippity, blah, and you're dead. That's what he looks
Well,
like.
actually,
You know what I mean?
think
This one
Chief
looks
Chirpa
like-
did because his staff looks like it's actually like a bone.
That was the last guy he cut and that made fun of the size of his knife.
Well, something's got to go with those berries. Ewok cannot
See,
live on
some
berries
berries.
alone. What else?
But
we
you
got
can see
here?
like a very Michael Turner influence in a lot of his, like in the mouth and the nose and the eyes. He's the guy who did Fathom, and
Chris is our comic expert.
he digs. Oh yeah, which is just because that's kind of like in Inglorious Bastards, when they're like, you're first best at Italian, you're second best, you're third best. I don't know Italian. That's why you're third best. It's the only reason I'm first best here is because there's not somebody who really does know a lot about comic books.
What?
But yeah, you can tell there's a lot of he says this in his answers too. There's a lot of Top Cow type comic book influence in this. I mean, I really like all of the shading. It is a serious pain to get. People think you just push a button in Photoshop and you get the Mona Lisa, and it's not true. It takes a lot to be
Three
able
buttons.
to. It's 3 or 4, depending on what sort of things you have set up. But yeah, the robotic legs juxtaposed against like the organics with the shirt and her skin and whatnot, just really really good.
And the
work.
jaunty look in her eye. Growl. Not sexist, but growl.
Lots of really cool stuff in here. Oh, Josh had mentioned this one before we came. Once again, another Michael Turner style, Jim Lee.
Yeah. Oh,
Images.
That's my second favorite one. That was actually just about to be my favorite one.
Phoenix is such a cool character. His hair,
Well, Phoenix.
her hair.
Yeah. In some cases, incredibly cool character.
So
In his case, definitely.
Definitely follow
Oh,
Carl.
cute. We've got a picture of baby over here.
I didn't notice that. Oh.
Neat.
Congratulations, Carl.
Follow him.
Yep.
Check his work.
Yeah, get a commission.
Keep an eye on him. He's up and coming. A lot of good stuff here.
Right. Like to also thank him for his time and letting us take a look at his artwork and taking the time to answer these questions and whatnot. So yeah, once again, follow him on DeviantArt. Make sure to follow me at Hoffmangler DA or Steampunk38
Steampunk 38.
and Raging Swede. As soon as Josh gets some of his gets his artwork up there, and Josh is a poet and has poetry on there, so we're gonna make sure that he has his. Make sure to follow him. We'll have it updated in the show notes
One
as
of
soon
these days.
as soon as he has that. Actually, yeah, now he's too cool for this. Totally.
I'm on to the next website. Really super deviant art. The next thing past com. I don't even know.
And of course, Salt City Strangers.
Salt City Strangers, of course. Yeah, you can find us on Twitter at Salt City Strange or Facebook /Salt City Strangers. Watch for our Kickstarter campaigns, and if you would like your DeviantArt gallery featured on this podcast, go ahead and get a note over to one of us, and maybe you'll be the next one featured on our next podcast.
Well said, sir.
Awesome. Thanks
Well
for
said.
watching. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.